Welcome back, everybody. Friends and neighbors, Roman's countrymen. My guest tonight is the Emmy Award-winning host of The Rachel Maddow Show. Please welcome back to The Late Show, Rachel Maddow.
I love you, Rachel Maddow, 'cause you bring delicious freedom to our ears.
Wow. That. I admire this. I admire the pep in your step.
It's like river dance, but you can use your arms.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I want to hit off of that energy you have right there.
Yeah.
You know I love having you on because I said you're the explainer. You can lay everything out like parts on the lawn and assemble it back together into meaning for our lives. You do this very well. Nobody does it the same way you do.
I like your faith.
You get granular in an interesting way. Obviously, my overall question is what the Well, let's get into it slowly. Let's get into it slowly. Okay. So you're back to Mondays again after doing every night of the week for the first 100 days.
Yes.
Okay. So how you went through the last first 100 days of Trump. Now the second first 100 days. What has it taught you about the new playbook for the administration? What's different? What's the same?
So the common wisdom when Trump was coming back for a second term was that he would have worked out all the kinks in the first term, that maybe he had some like really radical intentions for the country in the first term, but he wasn't very good at doing anything. And so we didn't have to deal with the worst of it. So the common wisdom was he'll be better at it this time around. Not true. Turns out there was no learning about how to do the stuff. And so
That's a common problem with authoritarianism, isn't it? Because it
Yes.
all kind of has to go through one guy. And if the one guy doesn't change, if he's just as he was,
Yes.
then things will be much the same.
The personalization of government means you are depending on the personal competence of the guy in charge, who thinks Alcatraz, right?
Yeah.
Should, nobody escaped from Alcatraz since Clint Eastwood. And so then,
Yes.
like you said, like he thinks movies are real. Okay, well, that's a limiting factor in terms of what can happen at an authoritarian government.
Sure.
So,
Okay.
he's no better. The other thing that was different in the first term, you might remember, he was inaugurated in the first term, and then the day after was the Women's March.
Yeah.
Right at inauguration was the Women's March. Women's March, one of the hugest peaceful civil disobedience demonstrations all over the world that there's ever been. This time is different. There wasn't one huge protest. But in Trump's first 100 days this term, people protest in, I swear, like all 50 states every day. And it never stops. And some of those protests are big, but in every day I'm covering protests in Tuscaloosa and Boise and Lima, Ohio, and places I have to watch local news clips to figure out how to pronounce the name of the town where there's the demonstration. And the demonstrations against Trump have not stopped, and they're every single day. And there isn't a Republican member of Congress anywhere in the country, in any congressional district, who can show his or her face without getting yelled at by his or her constituents about what Trump is doing.
Right.
And that is different. That is different.
I think it was a New York guy, Lawler, who actually said that he asked for IDs to prove that you were actually in his constituency, because they were like, it's outside agitators. And so they did. They checked everybody's ID. Everybody was actually a constituency, and they just booed him from hell to breakfast.
And you're finding that even in like Republican plus 30 districts, like places where Democrats haven't won an election in living memory. But still, there's enough angry people, Democrats, independents, and Republicans in every congressional district in the country, that Republicans aren't showing their faces because they can't take it. I mean, that's what happens when you like cut Meals on Wheels. You cut Head Start, you mess with Social Security, you do all this stuff, you are never gonna survive politically. And that's the message the American people are sending already.
We have to take a quick break. We're right back with more Rachel Maddow, everybody. Stick around.